Hey everyone, welcome back to the Stoic Inspire channel. Today we're diving into something that can really change the way you connect with the people you love. How to leave a lasting impression and create a deeper connection through small but meaningful gestures. Whether you're looking to impress your crush or just want to make every conversation count, I've got 7 great tips for you. If you do this, the girl will think about you all night long. She won't be able to sleep thinking about you. Grab a seat, hit that like button if you're ready to level up your connection game, and let's jump right in. No one compliment your crush girl uniquely. When it comes to expressing your feelings for someone through a compliment, the key is to make it deeply personal, authentic, and heartfelt. Compliments aren't just words. They are moments where you can convey your appreciation for everything that makes her uniquely special. To make an impact, you need to go beyond the surface. Saying something like, "You're the most beautiful girl in the world," might sound sweet, but it's something she's likely heard before. It doesn't stand out because it doesn't reflect who she truly is. Instead, focus on the qualities and actions that make her extraordinary in your eyes. For instance, you could say, "The way you see the good in every situation, even when things get tough, is one of the things I admire most about you. It's like you have this inner strength that makes everything seem possible. I've never met anyone else like you." This type of compliment not only shows that you notice her resilience, but also that you deeply value it. It's specific, meaningful, and shows her that you see her in a way others might not. Another approach is to share how she makes you feel. Love isn't just about admiring someone. It's about how they inspire you, comfort you, and change your world. Let her know, "Whenever I'm around you, it's like the whole world slows down. I can just be myself, and I've never felt that kind of peace with anyone else." Compliments like these aren't about her physical appearance. They're about the emotional connection you share. This adds depth and sincerity to your words, making them much more powerful. Don't underestimate the value of small, detailed compliments. Sometimes it's the little things that mean the most, because they show you've been paying attention to her in a way that others haven't. Maybe it's the way she subtly encourages others when they're feeling down, her unique laugh that lights up your day, or the way she talks about her dreams with so much passion and determination. You might say, "I love how you're always there for people, even when you don't say much. It's like you have this quiet strength that makes everyone around you feel supported." Compliments like these touch on who she is as a person, not just what she does or how she looks. You can also take it further by acknowledging her influence on your life. Let her know how she's changed you for the better. For example, you could say, "Since I've met you, I feel like I've started to see the world differently. You've shown me how to appreciate the little things, and that's something I'll always be grateful for." These kinds of words convey not just admiration, but also gratitude, which adds an even deeper layer of meaning to your compliment. Timing and delivery are just as important as the words themselves. A heartfelt compliment given during a quiet, meaningful moment, when it's just the two of you, will have a greater impact than something said casually. Imagine you're sitting together after a long day, and you look her in the eyes and say, "I just need to tell you something. Being with you feels like home. You make everything in my life better just by being part of it." A moment like that will stay with her long after the words are spoken. The beauty of complimenting someone you love lies in its sincerity. It's not about using fancy words or trying to impress her. It's about speaking from your heart and letting her know how much she truly means to you. When your words reflect the depth of your feelings and the uniqueness of who she is, they'll resonate with her on a profound level. She'll feel cherished, understood, and loved in a way that she'll carry with her forever. And that's the magic of a truly meaningful compliment. Number 2, creating an inside moment with your crush. This is one of the most meaningful ways to build a deeper connection. It's not just about talking or joking. It's about sharing something so personal, unique, or memorable that it becomes your little secret, something only the two of you can truly understand. The first step to creating this moment is to find common ground. Pay attention to what makes her laugh, what she's passionate about, or even something small and quirky she mentions in passing. For example, if she casually tells you she loves a particular TV show or song, you can playfully incorporate it into your conversation later. "I listened to that song you mentioned. It's so good, but now I can't stop humming it. Thanks for getting it stuck in my head." This shared connection, even over something simple, starts to create a bond. Another way to spark an inside moment is through playful banter or creating a small joke that only the two of you share. Maybe you notice she always orders a specific drink or does something unique, like always carrying a book with her. You could tease her gently and affectionately, saying something like, "I'm starting to think that coffee order is your secret fuel for world domination," or "I should have guessed you'd have a book with you. It's like your signature move." When done in a light-hearted way, this shows you're paying attention and sets up a fun, private exchange that only you two can relate to. Another way to make the moment more personal is to share something about yourself and invite her into your world. Maybe you have a hobby, a unique family tradition, or a funny childhood story that you can share with her. For instance, I used to have this weird habit of naming all my plants after fictional characters. Don't laugh, but my favorite was called Funny Name. By sharing something like this, you're not only showing a vulnerable, genuine side of yourself, but also giving her the opportunity to laugh with you and connect over something truly personal. The key to an inside moment is making her feel like she's part of a special little world that only the two of you share. It could be as simple as a shared observation during a moment together, like both of you noticing something funny about your surroundings, or a playful nickname you give her based on something she's said or done. The goal isn't to force it, but to let it happen naturally, and when it does, it creates a memory she'll carry with her long after your conversation ends. These inside moments are powerful because they're not just about words. They're about shared experiences and emotions. When you create an inside moment, you're building a foundation for a connection that's unique, personal, and truly unforgettable. Number 3, send a thoughtful follow-up message to your like girl. Sending a thoughtful follow-up message to the girl you like is more than just a simple text. It's an opportunity to stand out, show genuine interest, and leave a lasting impression. The key is to make your message personal, sincere, and reflective of the conversation or moment you shared. Instead of just saying something generic like, "I had a great time today," take it a step further and make it specific. For example, you might say, "I can't stop thinking about how passionate you sounded when you were talking about topic. It's so inspiring to see how much it means to you. It made me want to learn more about it too." By referencing something she shared, you show that you were truly listening and that you care about what's important to her. If you want to add a touch of playfulness, you could tie in an inside joke or a light-hearted moment you shared. For instance, "By the way, I'm still laughing about how you funny moment. I feel like that's going to be our thing now." This not only reminds her of the good time you had together, but also creates a sense of connection and a shared memory. Another approach is to subtly express how much her presence affected you in a positive way. You could write, "There's something about the way you see the world that's just so refreshing. I really felt like I learned something just by talking to you today. Thanks for that." This type of message goes beyond surface-level compliments and highlights her impact on you, which is incredibly flattering and meaningful. Timing also plays a big role in sending a thoughtful follow-up message. Don't send it too soon, or it might feel rushed. But don't wait too long either, as you want your words to reflect the freshness of your time together. Sending it later in the evening is often ideal, as it gives her time to reflect on the day as well. You could end the message with something open-ended to keep the conversation flowing, like, "I'd love to hear more about something she mentioned next time we talk." This leaves the door open for future interactions while showing you're genuinely interested in her. Remember, the goal of a follow-up message is to make her feel appreciated and valued. It's not about trying too hard to impress her. It's about letting her know that her presence left a mark on you. When you take the time to craft a thoughtful, personal message, it shows that you're not just another person in her life. You're someone who truly sees her for who she is, and that's something she won't forget. Number 4, be intriguing to your crush love. Being intriguing to your crush is all about creating an air of mystery and keeping her curious about you without being overly distant or cryptic. The key is to balance being open enough to connect with her while leaving just enough unsaid to make her want to know more. Start by sharing snippets of your life or stories in a way that piques her interest. For example, instead of saying, "I love traveling," you could say, "I once got lost in a tiny village in Italy, and it turned out to be one of the best days of my life. I'll tell you the whole story someday." This gives her a glimpse into your world, but keeps her curious about the details. Another way to be intriguing is to express your passions and interests with enthusiasm while hinting that there's more to explore. For instance, if you're into photography, you might say, "I have this project I've been working on that's really close to my heart. I'll show you when it's finished. It's something I think you'd appreciate." You can also build intrigue through playful banter and by asking her thoughtful, open-ended questions that make her think. Instead of the usual, "What's your favorite movie?" you could ask, "If you could live in the world of any movie, which one would it be and why?" Questions like these show that you're genuinely interested in her and open up a deeper level of conversation. At the same time, when she asks you about yourself, don't give everything away at once. Share just enough to keep the conversation engaging and leave room for her to ask follow-ups. For example, if she asks about your hobbies, you might say, "I'm into a lot of things, but there's one hobby that's a little unconventional. It's a bit of a long story, though." This makes her curious and builds anticipation. Another way to be intriguing is by showing confidence and being comfortable in your own skin. Confidence doesn't mean bragging. It means being genuine and at ease with who you are. Share your quirks, embrace your individuality, and don't be afraid to let her see a bit of vulnerability now and then. For instance, if you're nervous about something, you could admit it with a smile, saying, "This might sound silly, but I always get nervous before event. It's just one of those things about me." This kind of honesty makes you relatable and human, which is inherently intriguing. Lastly, end your conversations on a high note, leaving her wanting more. For example, if the conversation is going well, you might say, "I feel like we could talk forever, but I'll let you get back to your day, though I've definitely got more stories for next time." By being intentional with your words and actions, you create a sense of curiosity that lingers in her mind. Being intriguing isn't about playing games. It's about being genuinely interesting, leaving space for her to explore who you are and making her excited to learn more about you over time. Number 5. Ask your crush girl. Thought-provoking question. Asking your crush. Thought-provoking questions is an excellent way to stand out and deepen your connection. Instead of sticking to the usual surface-level questions like, "What's your favorite color?" or "What did you do this weekend?" challenge her with questions that get her thinking and allow you to learn more about who she truly is. The key to a thought-provoking question is to ask something that opens up a conversation about her beliefs, dreams, and the things that matter to her. For instance, you could ask, if you could spend one day in the life of someone you admire, who would it be and why? This question not only gives you insight into her role models, but also sparks a discussion about the qualities she values and aspires to. Or you might ask, if you could change one thing about the world, no matter how big or small, what would it be? This type of question invites her to express her thoughts on bigger topics and allows you to explore her perspectives on life and society. Another great question could be, what's one experience you think everyone should have at least once in their lifetime? This question invites her to share something personal, a passion or a dream she has, giving you an opportunity to bond over common experiences or explore new ones together. Thought-provoking questions don't always have to be serious, though. You can also ask something that makes her imagine and dream, like, if you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would it be and what would you do? This sparks a sense of adventure and opens the door for you to talk about travel, culture, and shared interests. What makes a thought-provoking question so powerful is that it's not just about getting an answer. It's about creating a conversation that leads to deeper emotional and intellectual connection. For example, instead of simply asking, "What's your dream job?" you could ask, "What's the one thing you'd do for a living, even if you didn't get paid for it?" This question opens the door for her to talk about her passions and what truly drives her in life, beyond the traditional idea of work or success. By asking questions like these, you show that you're genuinely interested in understanding who she is at her core. The key to asking thought-provoking questions is to balance curiosity with respect. You want to ask something that allows her to express herself freely without making her feel pressured. Also, listen carefully to her answers, and don't be afraid to ask follow-up questions based on what she shares. This shows you're not just asking to fill the silence, but because you truly care about what she has to say. Thought-provoking questions also create a natural flow in the conversation, which allows both of you to reveal more about yourselves in an organic way. You can even use these questions to learn how you can connect more deeply, like asking, "What kind of things make you feel most appreciated?" This opens up a pathway to understanding how to make her feel valued and cared for, which will strengthen your bond over time. In the end, asking your crush thought-provoking questions isn't about impressing her. It's about showing her that you care about more than just the surface. It's about opening the door to deeper, more meaningful conversations that will leave both of you thinking about each other long after the chat ends. When you ask questions that challenge her, inspire her, or make her reflect on the things that matter most, you not only build a stronger connection, but also demonstrate that you're someone who values depth, authenticity, and intellectual engagement. No 6. Give her a small, memorable gesture. Sometimes the most impactful way to show someone you care isn't through grand gestures or extravagant gifts. It's through small, thoughtful actions that resonate on a deeper level. Giving your crush a small, memorable gesture can leave a lasting impression and create a bond that goes beyond words. It's all about paying attention to the little things that make her unique and showing that you care enough to notice. For instance, if she mentioned in passing that she loves a certain type of tea, you could surprise her by bringing her a beautifully packaged box of that tea the next time you meet up. The gesture doesn't have to be extravagant. It's the thoughtfulness that matters. This shows that you've listened to her, remembered something personal, and made an effort to make her smile. It's those little moments of kindness that stick with people and make them feel special. Another way to give her a small, memorable gesture is to write her a handwritten note or leave her a short, meaningful message. In a world where most communication happens through texts or social media, receiving something personal and handwritten can feel incredibly thoughtful. The note doesn't have to be long or overly sentimental. It could be as simple as, "I saw this and thought of you. Hope it brightens your day." When you take the time to craft something by hand, it shows a level of care and effort that can't be replicated by a quick text or emoji. The physicality of a handwritten note makes it feel more intimate, and she'll likely cherish it much longer than any fleeting message on a screen. A small yet powerful gesture could also be to do something for her that eases her day or makes her life easier. Maybe she's had a stressful week and you know she's been running around, so you decide to offer to pick up her favorite coffee or snack on your way to meet her. Or if you're both working on a project, you could step in to help her with something, no matter how small. It could be as simple as, "I picked this up for you while I was out. Thought you might like it," followed by something she's mentioned liking, or something that ties into a shared experience you've had together. This kind of gesture isn't just about the item. It's about showing that you care about her well-being and are willing to take small steps to make her life easier, even if just for a moment. Another idea is to give her something that holds sentimental value, like a meaningful quote, a song that reminds you of her, or even a simple photo that you've taken of a memory the two of you share. For example, you might send her a picture you took during a day out together, saying something like, "This picture reminds me of how much fun we had that day. Can't wait to make more memories like this with you." The fact that you're sharing a piece of your experience with her will make her feel like she's an integral part of your life and that you value the moments you've spent together. Small, memorable gestures can also be rooted in creativity and spontaneity. If you know she loves a particular book or author, you could surprise her with a small bookmark that features a quote from her favorite character, or a quote that reminds you of her. The gesture doesn't have to be large or expensive. It just needs to show that you're thinking of her and putting effort into something that will make her feel appreciated. It's about creating an emotional connection with the gesture itself, something that reflects how well you know her and how much you care. It's important to note that these small gestures don't need to be perfect or over the top. In fact, simplicity is often what makes them so meaningful. The act of thinking about her, being attentive to her preferences, and taking the time to make her feel seen and valued is what truly counts. These gestures don't just create a lasting impact, they create a deeper bond and make her feel special in a way that words alone might not. The more you show her that you're paying attention to the small details, the more she'll be drawn to you and appreciate the authenticity of your gestures. In the end, the key to giving her a small, memorable gesture is to keep it genuine, thoughtful, and personal. It doesn't have to cost a lot or require a grand plan, it just needs to come from the heart. When you focus on making her feel special in ways that are meaningful to her, you'll leave a lasting impression that will stay with her long after the moment passes. Number 7. End on a positive note. Ending a conversation on a positive note is crucial, especially when you're trying to build a connection with someone you like. The way you wrap up your interactions leaves a lasting impression and can set the tone for your next conversation. Whether you're texting, on the phone, or face-to-face, ending on a positive note ensures that your crush is left with a warm feeling about you and the interaction. One of the easiest ways to do this is by expressing genuine appreciation for the time spent together. For example, if you've had a fun conversation or hangout, you might say, "I had such a great time talking with you today. It always makes my day better when we chat." This not only shows that you value her time, but also reinforces that you enjoy her company, making her feel appreciated and special. If you're ending a conversation after something more casual, like a quick text chat, you can also express your excitement for future conversations. A simple yet thoughtful line like, "Can't wait to catch up again soon," or "Looking forward to hearing more about something she mentioned next time," leaves the door open for future interactions. This shows that you're interested in continuing to build your connection and that you're looking forward to more moments together. For face-to-face interactions, closing the conversation with a smile and something sincere like, "I'm really glad we got to spend this time together. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day," makes the parting feel light, positive, and warm. This kind of ending reinforces that you've enjoyed the time spent with her and leaves her with a positive memory of the interaction, making her more likely to look forward to the next one. Another way to end on a positive note is by reflecting back on something you discussed or experienced together that day. If you shared a laugh over something funny, you might say, "I'm still laughing about that funny thing that happened. It's moments like that that make me enjoy our conversations so much." This kind of positive reinforcement makes her feel seen and appreciated, while also highlighting the joy of the interaction. It can also serve as a subtle reminder that you share great chemistry, making her feel more connected to you. If you're feeling a bit more daring and want to take the opportunity to give her a compliment or express how much you value her, you can add something like, "You have such a great way of making everything feel easier to talk about. I really admire that about you." This is a subtle yet impactful way to let her know that you appreciate her personality and the way she makes you feel when you talk, without going overboard. It's a genuine compliment that doesn't sound rehearsed or too intense, but still leaves a positive mark on her. Also, if the conversation has been especially engaging, ending with a sense of curiosity can be a great way to keep things open. You might say, "I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more about something she mentioned next time. I'm curious to know what happens with that." This not only leaves her excited for future chats, but also shows that you've been paying attention and are invested in getting to know her on a deeper level. This leaves the door wide open for continued conversations, which can lead to a more meaningful connection over time. Lastly, the way you end the conversation can also show your respect for her time and space. If it's been a longer interaction and you sense it's time to wrap things up, you might say something like, "I know you probably have a lot going on, but I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed this time with you. Let's definitely talk again soon." This conveys that you respect her time, and by leaving things on a positive note, it ensures she feels valued and eager to talk to you again. Ending on a positive note is all about leaving a feeling of warmth and lightness, so that your crush looks forward to the next time you interact. Whether it's a simple compliment, a heartfelt thank you, or an open invitation to continue the conversation, the goal is to make her feel appreciated and excited about the connection you're building. When you end on a positive note, you leave her with a smile and you set the stage for future conversations, making her feel like she's worth your time and attention. Thanks so much for watching. I hope these tips helped you feel more confident in your interactions and gave you some great ideas for creating meaningful connections. Remember, it's the small, thoughtful gestures and positive moments that really make a difference. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use a little advice on making their connections stronger. And as always, feel free to leave a comment with your thoughts or questions. I love hearing from you. Until next time, take care and keep being your awesome self.